Alright, let's talk about something that's been buzzing in the NFL world lately, and it's not just about touchdowns or trades. It's about backflips. Yeah, you heard me right, backflips. And no, this isn't a gymnastics channel, but it's a story that's got me thinking about the fine line between celebration and caution. So, here's the deal. Packers coach Matt LaFleur has officially banned backflips after Watson and MarShawn Lloyd decided to celebrate with some acrobatic flair. But what's the big deal? Let's dive in. First off, let's set the scene. You've got these two players, both with a history of injuries, pulling off backflips after scoring. Now, personally, I think there's something really pure about athletes celebrating like this. It's raw, it's joyful, and it shows a level of confidence and freedom. But here's where it gets interesting. LaFleur isn't having it. He's like, hey, cool move, but let's not do that again. And honestly, I get it. From his perspective, these guys are valuable assets, and the last thing he wants is for them to land wrong and end up on the injury list again. It's a classic case of risk versus reward. What makes this really interesting is the context behind Lloyd's decision to do the backflip in the first place. He mentioned that the running backs weren't celebrating as much as the receivers, and the receivers actually called them out on it. So, Lloyd, who can't dance but can do a backflip, saw it as a way to bring energy to the group. In my opinion, this speaks to a bigger trend in sports culture, the pressure to celebrate, to show personality, to be entertaining. It's not just about scoring anymore, it's about how you score and how you react. But here's the thing. When does that celebration cross the line into unnecessary risk? One thing that immediately stands out is the contrast between LaFleur's approach and John Harbaugh's reaction to Cam Skattebo's backflip. Harbaugh joked about it, saying Skattebo should have stuck the landing. It's a lighter take, but it also shows how different coaches handle these situations. LaFleur's decision feels more pragmatic, more focused on the long-term health of his players. And honestly, I think that's a smart move. As much as I love seeing athletes express themselves, the reality is that these guys have careers on the line. One wrong landing could mean months of rehab, and that's not just bad for the player, it's bad for the team. But here's a detail I find fascinating. Lloyd said he's been doing backflips for a long time, and it's never been an issue until now. This raises a deeper question. Are we overreacting to the risk, or is this a necessary precaution? Personally, I think it's a bit of both. On one hand, these players are professionals and they know their bodies. On the other hand, the NFL is a high-stakes environment, and coaches have to think about the bigger picture. What this really suggests is that there's no one-size-fits-all answer here. It's about balance, allowing players to express themselves while also ensuring their safety. If you take a step back and think about it, this whole situation is a microcosm of the broader tension in sports today. The push for individuality and entertainment versus the need for discipline and risk management. Players want to celebrate, fans want to see personality, but coaches and teams have to think about longevity and performance. It's a tricky balance, and honestly, I don't envy LaFleur's position. He's got to keep his team competitive while also keeping them healthy, and sometimes that means saying no to a backflip. So what's the takeaway here? In my opinion, it's about understanding the context. Lloyd and Watson weren't just showing off. They were trying to bring energy to their group. LaFleur wasn't being a killjoy. He was being practical. And as fans, we've got to appreciate both sides of this equation. Celebrations are part of what makes sports fun. But so is seeing players stay healthy and perform at their best. What many people don't realize is that these small decisions, like banning a backflip, can have big implications for a team's season. It's not just about the flip, it's about what it represents. As we wrap this up, I'm left with a thought-provoking question. Where do we draw the line between letting athletes be themselves and protecting their careers? It's a question that doesn't have an easy answer, but it's one that's worth discussing. So what do you think? Is LaFleur's decision fair? Or is he taking the fun out of the game? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep thinking, keep questioning, and keep enjoying the game.